extra like windows, and I accidentally closed the window with Discord.
We got too many windows. The windows are bad,
we got way
guys.
too many whales.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, where the people are in. I'm Lujack.
I'm Taylor, and hopefully one can check the audio. Hold on. Let me check.
Checking the audio, net.
Lujack, say something.
Something.
That's pretty good. I think I'm a little loud. Yeah, hold on. I should turn down my transmit volume, maybe. You gotta stop clearing your voice right up against the mic.
Sorry.
Alright, so... Hold on. What if I turn way down? Is this working?
Does it work?
Check. That's the... Hold on, that's the same. How about that? Sorry. Excuse me.
You gotta stop clearing your throat right up against the mic.
Wait, if I do like... I moved my input all the way down, I didn't do anything. Shabba-dabba-dabba. Shabba-dabba.
Skidabadaboo.
Shabba-dabba.
Skidabadoo.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
That's weird. Are you too
It's a little
loud?
quieter, but okay. Let me mute that. All right. How about now? Oh wait. Oh, that's output. Hold on. And then. Alright, how about now?
Now.
That open, and I got the stream open. So, hello everyone. I'm Taylor. That's Lujack. We're doing a little mic test there, and we're the Peopleorians. And tonight, on this very spooky evening, hey, it's Jenny.
Hey, Jenny, what's going on?
And Jenny says, y'all having a spooky day? Yeah.
Is hypnotherapy spooky?
It shouldn't be.
Then, no, not really.
But, yeah, it was a neat day, and we got to go and get coffee, and Lujack was asking about like tabletop games, and that was pretty cool. We got kind of distracted though.
It's fun to learn.
We're playing Phoenix Wright, and I love Phoenix Wright, so
Phoenix Wright!
Like some buttons.
Okay, well, I was waiting for us to get done with our intro. I like to do the intro on the title screen, and then I turn on the game.
And we were just starting Turnabout Samurai, the very first one.
Oh, so you know how like, oh wait, hang on, the pale moon and the sky cries for your blood. This is not okay. That's auto scrolling.
You gotta be ready.
No, it's you. It is you who should. For it will be the last moon you ever see.
I see you like to chew. How would you like to chew on my fist?
See you in hell, evil magistrate. Whoa, whoa,
The warrior swords gleam in the moonlight.
One has fallen, but who only the man knows. So mistook 6 episode. The Dark Messenger returns. I'm not gonna lie, I would watch this anime.
Probably.
October 14th, 5:31
No, it's
p.m.
not an anime. They're actors, so it's like more of like a Super Sentai situation.
Ah, dude, you're right. I'd still watch it. Hey, so you know how like Black Adam has been popping up on the loading screen for for multiverses for like what feels like months now, and like not only did they not release him before the movie, but according to Taylor, they didn't even release him
They
like
didn't
at
release
the
him when the
same
movie was
time
out.
as the movie.
Which is even funnier
it
because
just updated for me, and I just launched it, and now he's in the game. What the
Which
fuck?
is even funnier because like Dwayne Johnson being announced for Black Adam was like before Multiverses was even in development. Like that was so long ago.
Yeah.
So it feels like they waited too long.
Yeah,
to,
they added so many characters before Black Adam. He showed up on the loading
Warner
screen,
Brothers,
and then
why-
they just gave us other characters. They gave us Rick, and then they gave us Morty, and then they gave us these gremlin motherfuckers that I was
It's
never
kind of
into.
like it's kind of like my joke about like the FNAF movie where Blumhouse, like the CEO of Blumhouse or whatever, which editor, if we had an editor, I'm gonna say, editor, put up the screenshots of the Blumhouse account and the private account of the CEO, both insisting that that FNAF was going to be a movie in like 2019 and 2020, and now it's 2022, and we haven't heard a single thing.
Yep.
Like not a single screen, like not a screenshot of the CGI or any or pictures of any of the practical effect. Like there are more physical aspects of FNAF in like that one like FNAF museum thing in Vegas than there are evidence of anything of the FNAF movie. But it's kind of like
FNAF really had its like clone saga.
Well, the funny thing is that like that's how I feel that the whole like the Black Adam taking like so long that it like misses like that like what's the word that it should have come out or whatever. That's
Right.
also how I feel about the FNAF movie where like Blumhouse doesn't have the excuse of like, oh well, it's because like COVID happened and we got stuck, and it's like, no, FNAF existed like long before COVID, but also you've released several movies since you announced that it was going to be a movie. Like movies coming out now were definitely pitched after the FNAF movie was pitched, which means that like it's on the back burner, and now they have like what is it, Megan coming out, so it's like that they have the time and effort to make like robot horror a genre. It's just they gave up on FNAF. At this point, I'm like, guys, just cut your losses and make like a Walton Files or something. Like,
honestly, at this point, they might as well be doing that thing where they just sell you hype for it, like Star Citizen does.
Well, that's the funny thing is that they're not running like a Kickstarter or anything. Like they're not like selling merch or doing like a Kickstarter or a Patreon or whatever. Like, so Blumhouse isn't actually making. I don't think they're making any money on the hype for a FNAF movie because it's not like people go. It's not like Marvel or something where you're like, oh, we're gonna watch this Blumhouse movie and maybe we'll learn something in the background that'll show up in the FNAF movie. Like it doesn't happen. So like, I feel like it's like there's just like two people at Blumhouse who direly want it to be a thing and aren't willing to say that it's no longer a thing.
Right.
Like maybe they're like, oh, I left 70 calls to Scott Cawthon's phone. It's still a thing until he says no. It's like, no, I think that the movie not coming out within like 5 years of the game coming out, and you just you making several films since then.
But watch, like 20 years from now, they're going to come back to it, and it's going to be a whole different team and a whole different, like, this FNAF thing is going to get scrapped and forgotten about, and then, like, 20 years later, someone else is going to pick it up and is going to, like, do it better, maybe. I don't know.
That's the funny thing, is, like, the genre is evolved. Not only has the genre changed, but also, like, at this point in like the post-COVID like landscape, like kids aren't going to be as familiar with the concept of an animatronic pizzeria. like that's so it's kind of sad, but also like it means that it's kind of like my thing about deconstructions of Superman, where it's like deconstructions of Superman are still coming out even though we haven't seen a good Superman in like an actual film in a long time, not including Metro Man from Megamind.
I mean,
So,
we kinda got a good superhero in Invincible, but like that's in the comic
but
and that hasn't happened in the
that's in the
show
comic.
yet.
I'm not counting that.
Well, I
Plus,
mean,
the
would you
thing
count
is,
Invincible himself as like a good Superman or like a young Superman, like
also no,
Smallville
because he's a whole
Superman?
different. Also no, because he's a whole different flavor. But the main thing is that like the comics and stuff like The Boys and Invincible came out like a lot closer to, I don't know, when we at least had like some, like there was still like a public consciousness of like a Superman movie or something where Superman was a good guy.
Right.
But
Wait.
like because it's been so long and them getting like Netflix rights or whatever, I'm like, this doesn't feel like a deconstruction of the main thing. But getting back to FNAF though,
Wait,
that's the funny thing
hang
is
on.
like FNAF is,
Before we move on from the boys, I wanted to say,
yeah,
so we were at Starbucks, right? And there was an
yeah.
Akatsuki girl and a Homelander boy, and I went up to the Homelander boy and was like, "Hey, that's cool," and he was like, "Thank you, you're the real hero," and it was great. And I went up to the coffee girl. And she was like, a coffee girl? They're all coffee girls, or guys, or theys if
The
they're
Akatsuki
not
girl.
either of those, or something else if they use other, whatever. They're where was I going? I went up to the Akatsuki girl
ramen.
and
I mean ramen.
coffee
I mean,
ramen coffee, the coffee ramen. I went up to the Akatsuki girl and she was like, "Hey, what can I get you?" And I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a Ninetales." And then
And I
was
I
like,
looked at Lujak and I was like, in my best like pawn shop owner voice, I was like, 8 tails, best I can do.
The best we can do is 8 tails. It's like you go into GameStop like, "Hi, I'd like to return this 9 tails," and they're like, "Cool, I'll give you an 8 tails back for it."
So I was thinking about with the whole FNAF movie thing. I feel like it's taken so long. Like if it comes out now, it's gonna be, everyone's gonna be like, "Hey, I remember that," but it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be like the hype that I think it would have like deserved back when it was like fresh. Now it's like feels
Yeah,
like
I mean, at this
like
point,
a resurrected IP.
at this point, by the time it comes out, like the people who would have enjoyed it will be too old and like desensitized to it to be scared of it anymore, and the kids who would be scared of it at that point won't have any, like you said, don't have any idea as to the concept of animatronics. So
I do.
that,
If
like,
there's
the
one
more
good
time
thing,
passes, the more this movie gets to the point where it's really kind of not for anyone anymore and shouldn't be made.
and it's the funny thing is that like I feel like almost everything ends up being made about IPs. So I guess I can technically praise Blumhouse on making things that aren't IPs while they're busy saying that they're gonna make an IP movie.
Right.
That's actually kind of funny in a cosmic sense. It's like, yes, we've made a bunch of original films.
I mean,
But,
that's your bread and butter. You could just keep going with that. No, the IP thing
Yeah.
is still a thing. But why?
I'm like, if you're gonna go with IPs, I'm surprised that we don't like, considering how long it's been. Honestly, why not just make like a Dead Space movie?
I have yet to play Dead
Like,
Space,
you could
but I have the games.
so easily make a Dead Space horror movie where it's built like a zombie film where there's like a group of people and they're trying to survive and various dangerous things happen and you've got like you end up with like only like 2 people surviving by the end or something. Like just a classic like spooky horror film with an amorphous like series of monsters and big. I feel like that would work, and but I'm only saying that because, like, look, if you're gonna make something on a video game IP, it's funny because, like, I'm sitting here like, yeah, you should make something on a much older game, but it's because, like, FNAF was like, I feel like it doesn't, the fandom that it had, has evolved into whole other things by now, whereas, like, Dead Space's specific flavor like still is like hasn't returned. I'm pretty sure the crew that worked on Dead Space is now working on like Callisto Protocol, which I don't know what that's about yet. I have it on my playlist, but I still haven't seen the trailer.
Dead Space feels like the Alien franchise for video games. And that's also kind of
Which
how
is
I feel
funny
about
because
Mass
Alien
Effect
does have
and
a game.
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's funny that you
Alien
say that
does
because
have a
Alien
game.
has it's not. Yeah, Alien does have a game. Okay, well, technically, it technically has a bunch, but has one like good one.
Right.
That rocked.
That rocked! Oh, right, we should probably be playing the game, huh? Oh, and Jenny says on an epic quest, I dressed up as Cowboy from the Warriors. Neat. I never seen the Warriors, so I don't know what that means, but that's cool.
I'm guessing. See you in hell, evil magistrate.
Whoa! Stop waving that broom around.
I just realized that. Oh, Nick! I didn't know you were here. I was just thinking about how weird it is that technically there's two fake out Mandarins in the MCU. There's one from the Iron Man, but then in Shang-Chi, it turns out that Shang-Chi's dad is like the Mandarin, but he's nothing like what you would actually expect him to be. So it's like a double, like
okay,
they double
but is
down.
he the one that showed up in like the deleted scene or whatever? Is he like another different looking dude? That's
well, no, the Mandarin was
out?
Confirmed to be real in the like not deleted scene, but like the YouTube short. But we don't see him himself. We see like an agent of his to pick up Trevor, the fake Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
And we see Trevor in Shang-Chi, so he is alive or whatever. But I am super annoyed that it's like, oh, he was the fake Mandarin. There's a real Mandarin. It's like, oh, does he have like 10 rings of power? It's like, no. Well, yes, but no. And he's still completely different. And I'm like, I was thinking like, it is kind of funny that it's like, oh, he built this mythos on a guy that shouldn't be real. And then a guy that shouldn't be real was like, hey, you can't copy my thing. And it's like, sir, you... You're supposed to be a myth. You're not allowed to be like, oh, actually, I'm real. Like, that's a little unfair. It's like if you were,
excuse me,
if you got beat up by Thor for cosplaying as Thor.
Of course I'm here. What was that surreal show?
It's
what was
called
that serial
Starlight Warrior.
What was that serial show you were watching?
It's called Ultra Starlight Warriors Excellent. I watch it all day, every day.
Okay, that looked like an egg.
Yeah, it did.
What?
What?
Oh,
you mean you don't know? You don't know the Steel Samurai?
The Ghost of Tsushima? Oh, I know. I guess
sorry.
he wouldn't be a Steel Samurai.
Planet Chaser Starlight Excellent.
Or would he?
Editor, add in that sound clip of Planet Chaser Starlight Excellent, where it's just like that.
Wait, that's
like,
real?
No, it's a show in regular show. That's an anime that's just like very, very bright colors.
Oh, I love how
it like puts you in a trance, and you end up mentally in the Starlight Excellent like void.
I love just like the logic of the regular show universe. It's like, I have to pass this test, but like I left three answers blank. Oh, the test machine that you stuff it into comes alive and is attacking you with the 3 blank answers.
I just realized
and you have to like struggle to fill out the questions before it kills you. And that's just every episode of regular show.
You know what this means, Lujack?
What?
You could take like the plot of like a Junji Ito novel and then just change it so it's like regular show, where instead of like, oh, this spooky thing, it keeps happening. It's like the spooky, like we're doing a normal thing, and the spooky thing shows up, and we end up in the void, and we have to like figure out what it wants and then get out of there so we can get back to our jobs.
Honestly, that's kind of what regular show is. Regular show is kind of just a series of Junji Ito stories.
Mordecai talking to Rigby, who's turned into this like noodle creature.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, how do you feel? I went through the hole.
And then at some point,
meant for me, I'm actually no, I'm not sure if Amigara fart is Amigara farts. Amigara faults. I don't think it's a. I don't know if it's a Junji Ito thing. Hold on.
That is a Junji Ito thing.
Oh, it is Junji Ito. Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna feel kind of silly if I was worried that it wasn't, like it was a Robert E. Howard to H.P. Lovecraft situation where I misattributed it to a same genre.
Jenny's saying, is that
Jenny,
a regular show
show?
reference? Jenny out here knowing a regular show. Jenny out here being a cartoon connoisseur.
Yeah, but I'm just imagining like rewriting Vegito things where it's just like, like they see the Hellstar Ramina.
Dude
is like, Rigby, stop staring at that star. But it's getting closer every night.
We gotta do something about that, Mordecai. How are we supposed to? And then they go to Skips, and Skips is like, I know what to do. Dude, if regular show exists...
There's the Hellstar. They come down and they eat everything. We gotta negotiate with it.
I gotta go get my gauntlets from my magic immortal friends.
Skips, you sure do know a lot about Hellstars.
When you get to be this old, you know a lot about wars in the stars.
See, it's funny because it's Mark Hamill.
Dude, could you imagine Skips and Marceline hanging out, being like two immortal beings that have existed for thousands of years, and they're just like, oh yeah, that checks out, like, in any situation.
In the grim darkness of the future, there's only Skips. He's only the most popular TV hero for young people.
Young? Like how young?
Like 6 to 11 years old.
Hey, look, man, it gets super crazy and existential later, alright? It turns out there's like a whole island of samurais later, and like his dad turned out to be a jerk. He lost an arm that was also a plant, kind of.
There's a woman who's like a transhumanist, but like wants to like replace other people's body parts, so they want them to. There's a whole factory of robots that are just living in their own society, and it's like never mentioned again.
He's got like a magical shape-shifting friend who just kind of is super irresponsible, but sometimes not.
He's got a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that? It's actually haunted by like the soul of a dead girl on like its own plot line. It's actually really sad.
Just throw Linkara into the fucking Adventure Time universe.
Linkara, it's people like, oh man, Linkara, I remember that. And then they'll be like, hold on, Linkara has plot lines? Yes, he does. Just doesn't always. And that's the... I feel like there should be a little label system. Oh, dude, they should do that. I would love if someone... You know how Linkara has like a 700 video playlist at this point? Which I've said, if I could like email him, I really want to be able to be like, hey, I like your complete playlist, but like playlists get a little funky after 100 videos, so can you like separate them into seasons of 100 each? And that way you can subscribe to one at a time.
Right.
But I would love if someone like went through the playlist
and just took all of the plot stuff that happened and like connected it into like one long
and
video.
Put that into a playlist. So it'd be
I would
like
watch
episode
that.
30, episode 35, episode 38, like, and it would just be just the like. So you would end up skipping a whole lot of his actual like content, but the point would be that you would at least you'd have the little labels on which ones are.
You'd get the stories that he's telling, and Linkara has some like fun little plots that he does, and I don't know if he like still does them or if he's just sometimes uploading old clips that he's done from like ages ago that he just hasn't uploaded yet. I don't know which way it goes, but
I know that he's using old clips, which I've been thinking like, oh, well, if he's still using old clips, he's probably building up for whatever his next arc is. I do worry sometimes that, excuse me, that he'll end up like a lot of YouTubers where they, like review tubers, if you will, where they do a where they're like, oh, I used to do all these crazy plots and they were so dumb, and then everyone in the comments is like, no, those are great.
No, those are fun. Can you go back to those, please?
KHF, he got out of college, he went back onto YouTube, and he's not like as crazy active as he used to be, but like he's still on there. And he doesn't, as far as I know, I don't think he does like anime reviews, and I really wish he would, because I'd be all over that.
You've changed, man.
Yeah, but I commented, I was like, because he mentioned in an episode, he's like, yeah, I used to do all these crazy plots, and I wasn't sure what I was doing with it. And I was like, dude, that was awesome, and I'm glad that you did them, because they were really fun, like having like a looming threat in the background, that would show up in the end of the episodes, and all the characters are you in costume or like sprites of other characters.
Right,
Like,
right.
That was cool. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you were doing that before like other reviewers were doing that. And he's like, no, actually I was inspired by like people like Linkara. Like they were doing that so long. Like Linkara's been around so long that the people that I knew when I was a kid were also inspired by Linkara.
Yeah, I was in high school when I first
Contemporaries.
heard about Linkara, and by the time I discovered him, he'd already been on YouTube for like, what, like 3 years? 5 years? 10? I don't know. Like long enough that you could tell how like old and tiny his early
Jack,
videos are.
What if we did? What if we? You know, we've been thinking about making like a podcast, but I was thinking if we ever did a review series, it'd be funny if we also had just stuff going on in the background.
Just little plots going on. Caroline.
My worry would be that we'd resolve the plot before or after we ran out of episodes.
Yeah, I feel like we would get too impatient to drag the plot out for like as long as we could, and would end up like concluding it way too early, and like would just not have enough stuff in it.
Oh, I read this line. Next.
Oh, did you? Oh. Then what the heck are you doing getting all excited? Look, man, there was an apocalypse, okay? An old guy used a cursed crown to protect a demon child who turned
Yeah,
into
an
a
old
vampire.
guy.
You
Look,
can make a whole
computer-
spin-off of just that. This isn't just a kid's show.
Yeah, but Blue Jack, an old man died. But look, a computer. Everything's cool. It's the future. Hey, I'm only 17. That's 17. I'm a teen, not like you, Nick.
Hey, don't talk to me like I'm your grandpa or something. I'm only 24 myself. Yeah, now Phoenix, if you were into kid cartoons, that would actually be totally fine, because Adventure Time's great, and so are a bunch of cartoons.
I'm actually, I have a deep sadness in my heart because both of my younger siblings, I was like, oh, when my siblings, when they grow up, when they're the right age, I'll show them like all these cartoons that I watch. But like, what's the word? But like when they were old enough, the cartoons just felt like they were too like old. They weren't like the same cultural phenomenon, you know? Like if you're a kid and you're watching like Owl House like right now, that's like the new hotness. That's really relevant.
Well,
But-
yeah, like our generation was
But I
all
can't-
SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents and shit.
Yeah, but what I mean is that it's like I want to go and watch like all of Ben 10 or whatever, but like
Yeah, Ben 10 was great.
I hope that it holds up. I don't know how good it's gonna be, but
I feel like the original series probably holds up, and maybe the one after that. I know that I enjoy, like, I liked Alien Force and Ultimate Alien. I haven't watched them recently though, but I know that Omniverse probably doesn't hold up as well as I wish it did, which is a bummer, because oh my god, I'm about to go off on a whole tangent about Ben 10. We'll come back to this.
I mean, in some ways, but also like I feel like Omniverse really opened up the show for a lot more opportunity, and that's why like I'm so mad that it got like basically rebooted.
Ben's character was just ruined. I feel like Cartoon Network seems to be scared of letting people grow up when it comes to Ben 10, because they had him be a kid, right? Then Alien Force happened, and he was cool and mature and respectable. And then, I feel like throughout like Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, it felt like he kept reverting a bit too much back to original Ben, and then Omniverse happened, and he was literally just a 10-year-old in a 16-year-old body. And Ultimate Alien, you know what? Ultimate Alien had a lot of shit that made me angry. Like his breakup with Julie was played off as a joke, because it was him on the phone with her, not paying attention to their conversation, yelling about a video game, and her misinterpreting it. And that's how they broke up. And that's never, like, talked about. It's just...
Sir? No, the thing that I would like if I did a soft reboot of Ben 10, I would totally have it that
Oh, and Jenny
like
says
the
donate
Masquerade
Taco
is
Bell
up.
fanfic.
That
There's a
people
Taco
know.
Bell fanfic.
What, dude? I was talking.
Sorry, Jenny made this comment a while ago, and I never got around to reading it.
I read it, but I didn't get it. If I was gonna do like a soft reboot, it'd be Ben 10. What's the word? It would be sort of Ben 10 with was it Omniverse, where there's like a whole like alien society living like underground, and they've got their own like districts and stuff, and that the Masquerade is up and people know about aliens.
Yeah.
It's like I love stuff like that. I love stuff where like I feel like a lot of stories end with the Masquerade ending. With the only
But
other
Omniverse kind of started with that. Well, did it start with it? Like, was it already well known at the beginning of Omniverse?
I think
or
it
was
sort
that
of
not till
developed over
later
time.
in Omniverse? Yeah, because they were in like an underground society at the beginning of Omniverse, weren't they?
Yeah,
So
and
they
it's
were
just
still
that
in secrecy.
at some point humanity gets to like learn about them or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that and how like I would love a story where the Masquerade is broken and then it becomes more like, for lack of a more specific reference, like Shadowrun, where it's like where it's no longer like secret magic, like people are just out there as other species or whatever, just doing sci-fi stuff. As opposed to Shadowrun, where people are out there, other species, doing fantasy stuff.
Right. Sheepming.
You can watch it with me. It's really cool, and it's really popular. When I asked grade school kids what they wanted to be, Steel Samurai was #1.
I really worry about kids these days.
Followed by #2 was world famous pugilist Tommy Ray Handley. Gramps.
Game Grumps?
Game Gramps. If their kids have kids, they'll be the Game Gramps.
Dude! I mean, Aaron has stated repeatedly that he'll die on camera. Like, he's gonna grump until his dying breath.
Gonna grump until he gets crumped. Well, the Steel Samurai is over. Guess it's time to close up the office.
I'm pretty sure that was Aaron. I guess. Wish we had some clients. Jenny says Gravity Falls. What?
Do you think it's like private investigation where like you think that you stay in the office, but realistically you have to like go out and find clients? But it's that, but with lawyering, so it's like just going around, be like, I'm looking for people in legal trouble.
Do you have a legal problem? Do you need a lawyer?
We're a defense attorney, so we gotta find some people to defend.
Call my Mo as like a nickname and be like, Phoenix and Mo is the way to go.
Oh.
Jenny
be like Phoenix Wright, rebirth your legal career. I don't know.
Phoenix Wright, where we're right about our clients.
You gotta go
100% of the time.
Your line.
Jenny says Gravity Falls and Taco Bell don't mix. I believe you. And Grandpappy Aaron. Grandpappy Aaron. You know, I hope he gets to be a grandpa. Unless he doesn't want to. In which case, I hope he doesn't. Yeah. I hope he gets whatever he wants, man. Same for Dan. Same for people. Just in general.
What if you had the Game Grumps as like godparents? So then like it's like, well, the bad news is your parents died. The good news is you're being adopted by the Game Grumps.
That'd be amazing.
I think one of the big reasons why like Game Grumps, or maybe this isn't directly related, but like the Game Grumps I used to think that they were like huge, but if you look at their numbers, they're not like in those like top 50 or whatever. Like they're still within that range where they don't go crazy.
Game Grumps
I feel like
are
every
where
YouTuber hit. every YouTuber like hits 10 million and is like, oh, I'm gonna launch a rap career despite me having like no lyrical talent.
If we ever reached 10 million likes, I wouldn't want to do something crazy and stupid. I would just want
I
to
don't
be
think
like,
10 million likes. I think it's 10 million
celebration.
subscribers.
Subscribers, that's what I meant.
It's hard to imagine 10 million subscribers because currently we have like one.
We have like one subscriber.
Not including like alt accounts that we use so we can track or so we have updates on Peopleorians if we're on other accounts.
Yeah. A month has passed since my trial. A month has passed since my last stream. Mia's murder was the talk of the town for some time. Hey, you hear about that Mia kid or whatever? But no one paid any attention to the Wright and Co. offices. How am I going to pay the rent this month? Some real
People think
one
lawyers
punch.
make a lot of money, but only if they're taking cases.
Some real
I'm
One
pretty
Punch
sure.
Man problems going on. You're a lawyer with some One Punch Man problems, my dude.
Gotta buy all my vegetables when they're on sale.
I
It'll
gotta
be
hit the
okay.
store tomorrow. There's a sale going
Oh,
on.
wait,
My
hold
pantry's
on.
pretty barren right now.
Dude, Jack, I just realized something that's some real bullshit, if you pardon my French.
What?
Like One Punch Man, he's got to go get his vegetables, right? But like, okay, so if you're One Punch Man, where are you gonna buy your vegetables? Okay, like you have unlimited speed and endurance. Where are you gonna buy your vegetables? Because I'm gonna run down to the farmer's market like a big boy. Like I don't even need to get a car. I'm gonna jump over to the farmer's market and buy like an entire fridge worth of vegetables for like 5 cents.
My question is, how does
Right?
someone like Saitama get like the amount of nutrients he needs from like normal amounts of vegetables and shit to be
I mean,
as
there's
like
really
unnecessarily crazy as he
there is
is?
some shenanigans going into the physics there, but I think it's like one of those things where it just wouldn't calculate, It's kind of like, oh, well, if he's running at this speed in his clothes, wouldn't they get like friction burns from him moving around in them? Yes, yes, they
Right?
would. Don't. The more you think about it, the more broken it gets. It's kind of like my thing about having super speed, where like if you're like Quicksilver and someone like punches you, it's like, oh, you must have absorbed the blow because you moved your head. It's like, well, no, me turning my head like takes like 1,000 more newtons than your punches. Like,
Right.
when I go from 0 to 100 miles an hour, my body undergoes like a crazy amount of physical force that it inherently has to be able to do. You punching is nowhere comparable to that.
Well, that's why you gotta have like some kind of protected force that goes with your super speed. Like I think that's how
Yeah,
the Flash
exactly.
works. I think the Speed Force is kind of just a thing where it's like I am the Speed
Well,
Force
it's
and I
just
affect
localized.
this dude, but I'm not just gonna kill people.
Well, yeah, it's got to be localized because it's the same thing with like when Quicksilver is moving someone where he's like, oh well, I hold their heads so they don't get whiplash, and it's like, well, it's not just a whiplash. I feel like you get like, that one guy who like tested rockets on rails or whatever, and he would like get eye injuries because he was accelerating so fast.
No,
I'm thinking
that's
about that.
a thing.
Yeah, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm okay. The rocket worked, and yeah, I popped some blood vessels in parts of my body because I was accelerating so quickly. Well, I imagine that the reason why that doesn't happen to people that like Quicksilver is holding and bringing to safety is because it's a localized speed. Like he can sort of help accelerate someone into his sort of speed bubble.
Right. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back.
Jenny says he goes to Goku. He's a radish farmer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Thomas should just be a farmer because he could get all the work done like in a tiny amount of time. Yeah, the thing is that he would need to buy land. What the? Mr. James, you okay? Ah, it's because you saw a pupper, didn't you? Come here. No, come here. Come here. Mr. Timms, come here.
The Quicksilver scene that I remember most vividly is the one where he's just holding the guy's head and he's just like, what are you doing? Well, I'm holding your head so you don't get whiplash. And he just looks at him confused and he's just like, whiplash? Like, fucking Whiplash.
Yeah.
It's anyway.
I've seen Iron Man 2 so many times and I still don't get whiplash.
Oh, I get it. That took me a minute.
Yeah, I love jokes like that where it's just like it's like looking down from a building. It's like, hey, do you get vertigo? I've seen the movie 3 times and I still don't get it.
That's funny. All right, your line.
It'll be okay.
Will it though?
I'm sure some big client is just around the corner.
Are they though?
Grossberg like busts through the door. I need your help.
Kool-Aid comes crashing through like, oh yeah, I need a lawyer.
It's time to lawyer.
October 16th, 8:14 a.m. Phoenix Wright's bedroom. Aye, that noise. Obnoxious cell phone ringing. Beep. Hello, this is Phoenix.
Nick, I'm not used to reading green text because it's
Yeah, that was
usually
weird. Maya.
I think it
Maya?
represents.
What's that?
I think it represents when something's on a phone or transcript in general.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Maya? Maya? What? It's still early.
It's the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai got arrested. Probably needs a lawyer.
Wow. Huh? You mean the guy on that show?
They're saying that the Steel Samurai killed a villain.
No. Jenny says, I got a ton for Halloween. Nice. Oh, a ton of candy.
Yeah, I should have got candy for Halloween. It was very not out of. I was very out of it for October. I should have prepped. Now I feel sad. But also, I don't have like enough decorations either to show that my house is like actually a Halloweening destination.
We actually did like some last minute decorating with spider webs and gravestones. I baked brownies. Yeah. I baked like 3 batches of brownies.
Nice.
Yeah. Isn't that what he's supposed to do?
Get on TV.
I can't tell if Phoenix is just really dumb or if Maya is just bad at explaining things.
So it's just me when I'm on cannabis.
Yeah, Taylor, when he
am I
hits
really
the way
dumb
too
right
hard.
now, or are you just bad at explaining Elden Ring? Because you've been talking about this one guy, like about his bloodline, but I'm like, okay, but what does that have to do? What is the Elden Ring?
Taylor on too much weed is literally just like, okay, but here's the thing about this, but then what about that? But like, and just the most drugged out voice.
Okay, but why is the Elden Ring guy? He's hollow and he's got the Elden Ring pattern. Is that the Elden? Is he the Elden Ring? Is the Elden Ring just the symbol on the cover? Is it not even a ring? It's like a circular symbol.
It's just this giant circle with a bunch of green dots.
What do I need to know about the Deathly Hallows? Okay, so straight up, they weren't planned from the start, despite what Rowling said. So if you don't think they make sense showing up this late, it's because they don't. And secondly...
yeah, on TV.
No, I mean, he actually did it in real life. He skewered a villain with his samurai spear.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
It's called a yari. It's a traditional samurai weapon.
I imagine in this situation, Phoenix would have just like the most deadpan face and the most like, what's the monotone voice? Just like, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
I like that thing that's like, there's something so funny about communication technology, like coming out of like the telegram and stuff, and then we developed a way of talking over talking on the phone,
Right.
and then we only kept that for like less than 100 years and decided, nah, this sucks. I'd rather send messages.
I would rather text. Jenny
Like
says.
now that texting is now that you can like text letters like write down letters extremely fast. I
Yeah.
just realized, imagine someone like before like typing was a thing, like an old timey scribe is like, oh my gosh, you could write the whole Bible that like
I mean,
a week or something.
I mean, would you say texting was just the natural evolution of the telegram or whatever?
I feel like it would be like the natural. It's some evolution. The other day I realized that you use like shorter thoughts when you're texting than when you're trying to like leave a message for someone. So sometimes if you really want to like write something out and have your full feelings on it, you should send it as an email. And so I wrote up this whole email with like paragraphs and pictures and citations where I was like, "Dear Mom, here's a thing. I've been playing Assassin's Creed. It's pretty cool. Here's some screenshots of it, and I'm gonna explain. It's in colonial times. It's Assassin's Creed 3. Like I did that, and I sent it, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, did you get my email?" And she's like, "I did not." And I was like, "Oh, oh no." And I checked, and it was the right email, so I forwarded it to her. She still didn't get it, so I forwarded it to my mom and Travis because I figured if it gets to Travis and not Mom, then something's wrong with Mom's email. Travis was like, "What if it just?" I was like, "What if it's just going to her spam folder?" And he was like, "Well, there were a lot of pictures from the screenshots. So maybe it's like it just thought it was a different format and was like, nah, this is weird." Getting an email from your son.
Right.
Your son never sends you emails.
No, it's funny because like the first time I got a phone, I didn't get a phone like as a kid. I had to get one when I grew up, which makes me sad. But when I got it for the first time, I was like probably 19, and my whole thing was like, okay, do I speak like how you would write out properly grammatically, or would I speak like how I actually sound? So I would have this debate of like, do I pronounce this with more of a Z? Would I spell it with a Z to be more authentic as to how I sound in person? And so for the longest time I typed just in the most obnoxious way because like I was trying to be as authentic to how I speak as possible. and I eventually realized like this isn't authenticity, it's just obnoxious. No one likes this.
I'll write the word gonna, but
I'll write the word gonna. I'll do shit like that, but I'm not gonna be adding Z's to the end of words that should have an S. It's just that meme of Linkara, like, because poor literacy is cool, and it's like KEWL.
No, it's KEWL.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said AE. I was like, ew.
Well, if I did say A, I meant E. But yeah.
Please come to the office, quick. Please, Nick. Or just come to the office. Beep. There's no time to explain.
Jenny says, what is the Dark Soul? And this sounds like a creepypasta.
What is the Dark... Oh, that one I actually know the answer to. It's funny. Like, I remember watching this...
Dude, you gotta do it in your stoner voice.
No, well, that's the thing is that when I'm high, I want people to explain things, not that I'm explaining things when I'm high, which would be funny.
Right.
Like, I'm just imagining me getting high and trying my best to explain things and not get distracted and like not quite succeeding. No, the funny thing is, I remember seeing this whole like presentation on Dark Souls, and although I forgot like most of it, the one thing I retained like very strongly is, oh, humans are the Dark Souls in Dark Souls. And it's because like souls have like, I guess, colors or something in Dark Souls, and that all of the spirits or the fire souls or whatever,
right,
those are bright souls because they give off light, and that humans don't have like light coming from their souls or whatever.
Wait,
and I was like, wait, so does that mean that the title Dark Souls It's just talking about the humans, just the people. So humans are the Dark Souls of Dark Souls.
Then what are the Bright Souls? What are they if they're
They're all
not
the
human?
spirits or the magic-y stuff.
Oh. October 16th. I want to get into Dark Souls. I want to play the Dark Souls games. They look fun.
The thing is that I don't care much for Dark Souls. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's not that it's like on one hand I feel like it would be too difficult to be enjoyable, but also like I either won't play it out of spite or play it and do really well out of spite. Just to be like, yeah, I freaking played Dark Souls and I did all the things, and guess what? I still don't think it's very good. I don't think it explains itself well, and I know that's possible with any other good game.
Praise the sun. Look, man, if you want to be like really petty about it, just mod the game to be like actually fun and playable.
Add the little like Arkham Knight like blinker above enemies.
Yeah. October 16th, 9:22 a.m. Right in Cole offices.
I love the concept of making accessibility mods for hard games like out of spite, so people can enjoy them.
Yeah, okay. I have an opinion on like
hey, you know how
masochistic
you normally...
gaming for the sake of masochistic gaming. Look, man, it's cool if you like playing Dark Souls and like it being a hard game, but if your opinion is that games like that should just be inaccessible to people who cannot provide that skill level for it, then you're just a gatekeeping douchebag and I hate you. That's my stance on game difficulty.
Although I do like I like the option of having harder difficulties specifically for giving you achievements, because I love achievements. I think they're neat, and being able to have them and display them, be like, look, I did this thing, is really cool. And I think having a thing that's like, oh, I like in how like in No Man's Sky, there's an achievement for getting to the center of the galaxy, but there's also an achievement for getting there on permadeath, because it means that you got there without dying.
Right, that's cool shit.
Yeah, and that's cool and deserved.
Yeah. But it shouldn't be like it has to be permadeath. That's the only way to play the game. Nah, you gotta give me the non-permadeath version. I don't.
Vice versa, it'd be really funny. Like if I got that good at mods, I would definitely, as like a side thing, be like, I'm gonna make mods that make games that weren't like crazy hard and just make them like obnoxious, not harder, but be like, oh, here's Arkham Knight, but like the level saving system is just bad on purpose, so it's like, oh, you have to go back to the start of the chapter.
Right.
Like, look, I made it harder by making it inconvenient. Looking at you, Hollow Knight.
Friggin', I have not even played Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight is one of those games that's like, I can appreciate like the character designs and the combat and the lore and stuff, but I couldn't beat it because it was a combination of the bosses being difficult and the bosses being very far from where you actually spawn, which means there's a lot of what I call just like dead time where you're getting to the boss and it's like, that's not gameplay, you know?
Yeah.
That's not gameplay.
Yeah, that's artificial. That's just artificially expanding the time for the sake of like.
And I'm thinking about like the game. I'm thinking about games that are really fun to move around in, like Arkham Knight or like Spider-Man PS4. And even in those games, I would still feel frustrated if you died to a boss and had to start like swinging back over to them.
Yeah.
Whereas with Hollow Knight, not only do you have to go back over there, but you have such finite amount of health that you have to be careful not to take damage on your way to the boss. And it's like, guys, I just wanted to earn the story. I don't know why you made earning the story so difficult and inconvenient.
Yeah. We should probably call it here.
Really? Oh, wow. We didn't even get to see the Steel Samurai.
No, we didn't. We got through like one scene of this game. We got too distracted by other stuff. We could go a bit longer. Do you want to go a bit longer?
I want to go a bit longer, yeah.
Alright, let's go a bit longer. Mine's here, watching television. Now for the morning news.
The morning news.
Oh, okay. You can do it.
Alright. Now for the morning news. The actor Will Powers was arrested yesterday. Powers played the lead role in the popular kids show The Steel Samurai, Warrior of Neo Old Tokyo.
Neo Gotham, I mean, what?
He was arrested on suspicion of murder. The victim was Jack Hammer, who plays the villain known as the Evil Magistrate.
Will Powers and Jack Hammer, you are an item and you are a metaphor.
I'm just imagining a Dark Souls mod where when you kill a boss, it like gives you like their little like Templar dying speech, except like they just tell you what their deal is. They're like, what the heck did I just fight? And they're like, hi, I'm a wolf creature and I was cursed by this guy, and if you look at the moon, it's infected. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. I don't actually know the lore. But just like, that'd be so funny if like I once asked someone if like how could they make Dark Souls into a tabletop game, because wouldn't they have to like, wouldn't that mean they would have to explain the lore in the book? Because for the GM's guide, it's like, oh, here's how you run this, because it actually has like lore. And someone's like, not necessarily. You can run a game that's highly stylistic and not have the direct lore in it. For instance, have you seen Mork Borg? And I hadn't. And so now I have the book Mork Borg, and I haven't read that much of it. But I feel like that's exactly what you could go for. Is like, Mork Borg is very much about like a specific style of sort of just apocalyptic fantasy. And it's more about like getting the vibes there and then developing your own thing. The difference being that if you have a tabletop game that doesn't have built-in lore, it's up to the game master. Whereas if you have a video game that doesn't see that, like the lore is buried too deep, and the player doesn't get to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not like you with tabletop games you kind of can make it along the way, but I'm never playing a video game going, hey, I could add this thing to it.
Right.
Well, actually, no, that's me all the time, but I wish I could actually add something to the game.
Right.
His body was found inside the evil magistrate costume. A samurai spear was also found stuck through the body. Police believe this was the murder weapon and are investigating further. Then he said mod guns, and then I was just imagining just Dark Souls, but you have the guns from Dead Island.
Yes!
The Dark Souls gun mod and the Dark Souls Templar soliloquy mod. You just blast your way through. It's like,
go watch our Dead Island playthrough. At some point during the playthrough, a dude with a funny name pops up and is just like, here's a bunch of busted guns.
Now I want to make a video game that is a parody on Dark Souls, where the joke is that no one in the setting expects you to be tough enough to beat them. So when you start going through and just beating all of them up, they're like, oh snap! Sorry, I thought I'd just be able to trundle back and forth in this like pathway till the end of time. I didn't expect like someone actually, because that's the funny thing about Dark Souls, is at the end of the day, you canonically do beat up like every creature you run into. So the funny part is that you think at some point they'd be like, hey, I should probably explain what my plan was.
Right.
No one asks any questions in Dark Souls. That's why I don't like it. People should be asking more questions.
I know that, like, becoming the fire is the bad ending, right? because like doing what the game wants you to just keeps things bad and maintains a bad status quo.
Oh yeah,
But is that like the canonical ending? Because more Dark Souls happen, so does that mean like the fire is the canonical ending no matter what else you do?
I don't know, man. That and I always get Dark Souls and Bloodborne confused.
I actually really
And
want to
then
play
there's-
Bloodborne. Like, I want to play Bloodborne more than I want to play Dark Souls because it just looks neater and
My
more
joke
interesting
with
to
the
me.
Soulsborne games is that you need like a gimmick that everything relies on. So Dark Souls was all about the souls, Bloodborne was all about the blood, Elden Ring was all about grafting.
If Bloodborne was
So
so
I'm
good,
just
why wasn't
imagining
there
that our
Bloodborne
soul-
2?
Yeah, so our like Soulsborne parody would be like, oh well, every creature is powered by teeth, and it's having more teeth makes you more powerful. Here's the boss that's the crazy scientist who combined the most powerful teeth. Here's the guy who had big teeth and he trained to be a warrior.
Oh
Here's
man,
I don't know.
that'd be funny. This
It's a creature that's a mushroom with teeth. I don't even care.
This has to be a joke. Or like nails. Teeth or nails.
Ooh yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah,
nails would be like grosser.
Teeth and nails
Yeah,
or
both.
something.
Both.
Or
And it'll be
or-
called
or,
Teeth and Nails.
Yeah, oh, it would be called Tooth and Nail, the game.
It'd be called Tooth and Nail, yes!
Yeah, but the joke is that the game isn't that hard. You're just playing as like the what's the word? Like the Rimuru, the Saitama, like the overpowered like character. Where the game's point system, like the satisfaction of playing the game is beating the boss in the most stylish way.
So it's just Devil May Cry? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
I love
Please,
Devil May
I need
Cry.
to get developers. I have money. I have a small amount of money for developing a game, and I really want to make at least one.
Right.
So I just don't have. I don't know how to code games, and every time I ask someone like, "Hey, I will literally hire you to help me make a game," they'll either go, "Yeah, hit me up later," and then they never come back, or they're like, "Hey, I bet you could learn online." It's like, yeah, I've tried it. It didn't work. Apparently I need to take like a one-on-one tutoring course, but then when I say, hey, I'll take a one-on-one tutoring course, people will be like, no, I don't really want. You'll have to get back to me on that, and then they just never show up. I'm like, man, if you really want more video games in the world, and people will literally pay you to teach them how to make video games, and you're not helping people learn how to make video games, I don't know how badly you really want more video games in the world.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, because coding is like wizardry, and it's just owned by a bunch of wizards who won't teach you anything.
Wizards only, fools keep it tight.
Yeah. Well, that's my whole joke about like how do in fantasy settings. I'm always like, how has other people not figured out like magic if it's magic is so easy? But like that's because a lot of fantasy settings make magic they may actually legit make it really easy, whereas magic should be more like coding, where the reason why it's so arcane is that it's a combination of it being like very technical and it being like what's the word? Like the people who know it also like just get burnt out and don't teach other people how to do it.
I didn't steal this crown, I made it with the coding that I stole.
Yeah, I'm just imagining someone in imagine in 5 years and we're like mildly popular on YouTube and they see this episode and someone's like, "What? People teach coding all the time, do they? Give me their email. Really? Give me their email. Send them to me on Twitter. I don't care."
I need a person to teach me this shit.
Yeah,
I
this
need-
episode's
I
probably
need,
5 years old. They still don't know how to code because I haven't found anyone.
Need a teacher. We need teachers.
By code, I mean specifically video games, because I have had the issue of been like, "Hey, I heard you know programming. Can you teach me how to make video games?" They're like, "Oh no, I make algorithms that help sonar detect the difference between whales and submarines or whatever." I'm like, "That's cool, but that's not what I was trying to learn."
That doesn't help me.
I forgot that programming is like a extremely wide study and not specifically video
Yeah,
games.
it's like when someone gets referred to as a scientist in a show and they just do all the science, and it's like that's not.
Yeah.
You can't be like a physicist and also like. I don't know what's another form of scientist.
Well,
Biologist.
it's like scientists in real life are like, oh, I'm a microbiologist, but this is like, I'm gonna want to talk to like a couple other like scientists within my field, and like an epidemiologist to figure this out. Whereas like in like comic books and shows, it'll be like, well, I'm a physicist, but I could probably figure out the physics of this disease, and I'll get back to you in like a week.
Yeah, like I think there's a part. There's like this moment in Apex Legends, like during the lore, where it's like I think Nox and Watson and like a bunch of different scientists stayed together to like work on shit, and I'm like, okay, but like Nox is a chemicalist dude and like Watson is an engineer. How much work do they have in common? What projects are they working on? Because these two are supposed to be characters that hang out a lot, but like what science do they actually have in common?
Yeah, and Watson's an electrical engineer specifically.
Yeah, specifically electrical engineer. What are you doing?
You would at least think that Nox would be wanting to work with like a mechanical engineer. For
yeah, you would think he'd work with someone like I don't. Oh man, it's weird. It's weird.
No, it's a nightmare. The Steel Samurai is over, and the hosts are talking too much. The world is over.
No. Oh my god, I hate the phone ringing noise in this game.
Editor, can you go in and replace the phone ringing with the song "Mulata Butt" from Archer? Mulata Butt.
How do I not remember that?
Mulata Butt. Mulata Butt.
What season is that from?
I think it goes all the way to season 1. There's one time when Krieger's phone is ringing, and it goes Teutonic butt.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
Because it's like a white dad and a white mom.
Just like a white dad body with like a rap song as his ringtone, jamming out in like the whitest way possible. Everyone like
someone on the trivia, they were like, oh, this song is likely based on was it Regina? No, Sabina Bus? No, it was something Spadina Bus, I think. And I went and listened to that song, and it's got similar parts to it, but it's different. And the other people in the comment section of that YouTube video was like, "Hey, like if you're here from Archer." But under that, it was like Mulata Butt not only is kind of funny as like his ringtone, but it may be like prophetic in that when Archer, what's the word? That like Archer and Lana eventually would get together and theoretically have a kid.
Right.
And that would be his song, because it's gonna...
Man, the way they did have a kid was super weird and fucked up.
Was it clones?
No, she stole his semen from a freezer. Without his consent.
And what the Michael Jackson doing in the freezer? Sorry. How dare you? Yes, Wright and Koloff. Is it? Wait, why are they calling? They're calling her phone.
Well, I assume it's the company phone, and she's the secretary, or not secretary, partner. She does desk work, I guess. That's what I gathered from it.
What? Nick! It's the Steel Samurai!
What?
Yes. Yes, of course. We'll be right there. Let's go, Nick. We gotta go bring him a sandwich.
Go where?
Like,
where are we gonna get the sandwich
ordering,
from? What kind
Jimmy
of
John's
sandwich?
or whatever your local chain is called.
Jimmy John's, not Subway? Why would you not go to Subway?
Airline.
Go where? Sorry.
They have the Steel Samurai down in detention.
So what?
So I've decided this will be our first case. And by our first case, I mean our, like, you and I, first case.
Right, as a team, like as an
Yo,
official
we
team.
can click the plants again!
Yo!
Editor, put in the plants alert. We can click the plants.
Yo, what
once
up with
again.
that plant, man? Mia's favorite potted plant. Maya has been watering it so much lately, it looks a little swollen.
It's so powerful.
It got too powerful. She's either trying to make it grow, or she's perfecting her water torture technique.
She sings songs to it, and it grows so powerful.
She goes over and whispers nice things to it, like Jesse from Control.
Editor, put in a clip of Jesse talking to the plants, but it's just like the sprite from this game of Maya.
Oh man, I love that. That's so wholesome. It's just so wholesome in Control. You're just going around
Hello, plants.
cheering up plants and making them grow more and be healthy. It's a nice day outside. The hotel across the way is always full these days. There's the bellboy happily cleaning the room. So
The only employee there.
I was gonna say, so is that like deal that is that dream of his working out for him? Like, where's he at with that?
Considering that he's probably like the only. He seems like he's the only employee, so I like to imagine that the hotel is like 2 floors, but it's only like 4 rooms.
That makes
Like,
sense.
or it's only like 8 rooms, like 4 on the bottom and 4 up top.
Makes sense. Jenny says only an atomic robo does that. And Seaman Thieves. Seaman Thieves. That's like the parody of Sea of Thieves.
Oh no.
A poster of an old...
movie.
What's that?
Oh, sorry, I was reading it.
Oh. Do you want to read it? You could,
Hope it's not Christmas Blood. No, but then if I start reading for Phoenix, then you'll be silent the whole episode. It'll be so sad.
Yeah, I know, but it really looked like you were excited to talk about the poster.
I
Wait,
don't know what movie it's supposed to be, but
he looks like he has like a leaf on his head or something.
hold on.
Looks like a person. It looks like a head, and it looks like they got like a
It
leaf
looks
on
like
their head.
at least 4 people, and they're walking down a road
Maybe
or
it's
pillars.
maybe it's a bunch of people who are melting together. Maybe it's that scene from that one movie where they were all aliens and they like melded together in a weird fucked up orgy.
Let me look that up. Phoenix Wright.
What movie was that? Does anyone know what movie I'm talking about? He like turns into just a pair of legs with an ass and his face is on his ass.
I don't know about that. I thought you were talking about John Carpenter's The Thing, where like
No.
the thing is just like a mass.
No. I'm talking about it's like, yeah, it's like this dude in a rich family, and all the rich people turn out to be aliens, and that's why he didn't like any of them because they were weird. And it turns out the reason rich people are weird because they're aliens. Yeah,
I think I remember something like that, but I don't.
Yeah, I think Foundflix did a review. Was it Foundflix or was it?
I wouldn't be surprised if Foundflix did a review of a horror
Foundflix
movie.
is definitely someone who would have done a review for
Definitely
that. A poster of an old movie that Mia liked.
Oh, someone asked on this like forum if anyone knew what movie the actual poster is supposed to be. Ace Attorney originated a headcanon that Godot's ringtone, as a result, theme is from the movie. Oh, sorry. Replaced with Steel Samurai poster later. The description changes based on the game. Oh, remember the line about making Mia cry? So it's probably some kind of drama.
Drama or romance or I don't know what is the stereotypical shit to make people cry. I don't fucking know.
It's one of those. Well,
Adventure
going by
Time
the
makes me
structure-
cry. Adventure Time has
I
a
think
lot
drama-
of heartbreaking moments.
yeah, I think it's the drama because if it was one of those like heartfelt animated movies, it wouldn't have like that structure. It wouldn't look like 4 ordinarily proportioned people in a hallway or something. You know what I mean?
Right. Is it
Unless
a
it's an
hallway?
anime and we just I think it's a hallway or something like a hallway, like
Yeah, that
like
kind
a
of looks
walking
like it could be
area.
a door on the right.
Well, because the
Like
left and
the-
right sides seem to have like these pillars, and they're angling. They look like they're angled in, like perspective wise.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was thinking I should go see it myself. Then I realized that the poster doesn't actually say the title of the movie. So, no, we don't know what the movie is, and we'll never get to know. I didn't mean to click on that again.
The movie was called Spadina Bus. What a group of friends who ride the Spadina Bus.
Wait, was it actually called Spadina Bus?
Oh, it wasn't.
I don't even know what Spadina Bus is.
It was a callback to the thing I was saying earlier that Mulatto Butt, the song,
Alright.
was, according to the trivia section in the wiki, is likely based on the lesser known song Spadina Bus. I just had it open over here.
Right.
Who's it by? By the group Shuffle Demons.
Wait, I had a demon possessing me, and bro, you just kept on shuffling.
No, hold on. No, hold on. Oh, Shuffle Demons, yeah. Yeah, Shuffle Demons.
That's granted. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. Scarier still is the thought that I have to read all of these now.
Yeah, everyone in the
Ow!
comment is just saying stuff like Teutonic Butts, Black Us Momo, White Austerity. I'm here because of Archer. Number one bus-inspired songs in life.
Nice.
Uh,
Mia's desk, actually, it's my desk now. Sitting here always makes me feel like a professional. Phoenix in his desk like, I am such a grown-up.
I can't touch grass, but I can touch this ficus that we have.
Touch grass.
Touch the... Okay, so we touched... I think we touched everything in the office. What about the chair?
Yeah, so now we're gonna talk to me. That's a face.
Just Mia being impatient, like you guys have spent like an hour.
Like, can we fucking move? Can we move
Can
the
we go
story
before
along?
you go off on like a whole thing about Naruto
Or-
and goggles that nobody uses?
Your weird niche references that nobody gets. What the fuck is a Linkara?
Look, as the story, as you all know, is that we were born inside a sewer, and then the normal people found us.
Wait, was that Rat Teens?
That was Ratty.
Oh my god, I remember Rat Teens. That's
our,
like
our mom is like a nurse, and she learned how to like treat all sorts of people, like frogs and horses and just regular humans and stuff. And she has this crazy power where she can eat garbage and then spit up like perfectly formed regular food.
Oh, I forgot about Rat Teens.
Oh, rat teens.
Rat Teens was so weird.
Yeah, we got the deep cuts. We got the rat teens. We got
the
baby
deepest
cakes.
of cuts.
Someone in the comments made me realize this. The comments of Batman Spider-Man. Someone's like, I just realized Batman Spider-Man's probably the only like kid-appropriate show in the entirety of Mondo Media's like collection.
Holy shit, I never thought about that.
Yeah, all their other stuff is like a little too spicy or edgy or sexy for
Deep
like
Space
the younger
69.
audience.
And
Yeah, I
stick
mean straight up,
figures.
Dick Figures, Deep Space 69. But then there's just Batman Spider-Man. That's just like a nice loving little
Tuba, I
show.
don't think I fit in this 3, or
I
was
feel-
it an E? I don't remember.
Yeah, this I don't fit in this E.
I don't fit in this E.
I gotta use my sewing skills and make us Batman and Spider-Man outfits to wear next Halloween. Cause like everyone would be like, is that a really bad on purpose Spider-Man
Oh my
outfit?
god!
I'm gonna have it. It's gonna have the little like spider on it is gonna be Velcro or like a magnet or something, so you can take it off.
And the Batman would be carrying like a tuba around with him.
I mean, I would say yes, but the thing is, like a tuba, like an actual tuba, is probably really expensive.
Well, maybe like a prop tuba. I don't know.
like a prop tuba.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Spider-Man has like a carrying bag, and he just has like a peanut butter,
Yeah.
like a regular jar of peanut butter,
Just a
which
jar
is
of
like
peanut butter.
but then the label has been taped over with the fake label that says peanut butter. Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Oh man, we got our
And I gotta
shit
make
for
a
next
spare.
year.
Gotta make a spare outfit that's for Pumpkin.
We got our costumes for Comic-Con.
Dude, I would love to go to Comic-Con as Batman and Spider-Man.
That'd be amazing. I would absolutely do that.
I feel like the Batman costume would be kind of hard to do just because like I feel like you have to make the hat like structurally like it. I want the lips part to like actually stick out a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it just have like wire in there that like you can form.
Have like
When you take pictures, you can.
Have
Well,
like,
if I put like
have like detachable
wire-
limbs, but have like multiple limbs so that you could like make it look like you're just taking limb. Like they
Well,
would have to
yeah,
be
for-
detachable.
For that, I was thinking you'd have like more wire and maybe like a rubber glove or something, and then put a glove on top of the rubber glove. And the wire on the inside would hold the shape, and then you'd be able to just set those down. You know, so you're like have your arm behind your back, and you're like, oh, and then your hand is just like sitting on someone's table.
That'd be amazing. And then
Oh,
you just like you
it'd be
attach a new one, and you're like, hey, look, I grew another.
Yeah, but the thing about the wire for the mouth part though is that you'd be able to shape it or whatever, and so when you're taking a picture with people, you'd have like the wire forming like the little smile. I'm worried about how I translate that to an actual costume because I'm pretty sure it would look super weird if I did it wrong.
Oh man. Probably, but dude, I like these costume ideas.
Yeah, Batman and Spider-Man. Just like
Batman
this,
and Spider-Man.
the fact that the blue part is actually a vest that goes on top of the bodysuit.
Oh my god. Well, what should we do?
What should we do? How could you just sit there like that? Talk about Batman, Spider-Man, and other internet deep cuts.
He is just impatiently waiting for us to stop talking about.
Extra was saying that you saw the original run of Bee and Puppycat and on your opinions on it. We have to get down to the detention center and meet the Steel Samurai.
I did watch the original Be a Puppycat. I watched it when it before like got into a streaming service.
It's weird. It's weird that like stuff like Bee and Puppycat or Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, like their Netflix releases are sort of like soft reboots where it's like, oh, we just straight up didn't go anywhere from there. Like you don't like. I understand the appeal of that. Like it should be that when you start the show on Netflix, that's the actual start. But like it would be funny if like they had the first several episodes just ported directly to Netflix. So you're watching it and you're like, oh, I can see where the budget changed.
Yeah.
Oh, on my list of outfits I need to make, I do want to make a red guy costume just because of how just terrifying it would be if I just had a red guy costume.
I'm that
like,
guy.
Body cover.
Oh, yeah, dude, we
like
gotta
you'd really
get two
warm,
more
though.
friends to cosplay as that guy and the other guy.
Oh yeah, that definitely that'd be on the next one.
We could get your brothers
Also-
to do it. You got two
And
brothers.
we could even make. What would be funny is we can make a. I would use the same template for Batman to make fake Batman, where the only difference is that it has a big and a comically oversized like zipper tag on the back,
Yes.
like the pull part, the zipper pull.
Yes.
You have to get down to the detention center and meet the Steel Samurai.
Does she want to investigate this case or just do some sightseeing, I wonder? I can do both, Phoenix! I can do my job and enjoy life as well. My money is on sightseeing. We don't have... Oh, that's you.
We don't have enough information to make a case yet. We don't even have like basics.
We got nothing. Nothing! Just admit it, you don't have a clue what happened.
We just don't have enough. No, we just don't have enough information.
Okay.
Gotta get over there.
Ah,
Gotta dig
that's
deep
not what
into
I'm
this hobo gravy.
Gotta dig deep into that hobo gravy. Hey, Maya, check
Jenny,
out my
Jenny's like,
badge.
Jenny's like, no one came to my house. I have candy, damn it. I'm just imagining that Jenny's house is like the house from Ponyo, where it's like up next to a cliff on the end of like a rural road, away from the rest of the island.
Hey, speaking of Ponyo, I got a bunch of Ghibli stickers and no laptop to put them on. So I'm trying to figure out what to put them on.
Should either get a laptop or let me see some of those stickers so I can have like one.
Yeah,
I don't know what it would be. Just
yeah, I could show you them.
I'll take a look.
It's got some good stickers. You're more than welcome to one.
I need to get more stickers for my laptop. Put more stuff on there.
I need to get more stuff to put stickers on. What about this? What about this?
You just like showing that off, don't you?
Yes, I do. My poor ego.
Why are you? Oh, that's why. Because it's your only item. And I still have those glass shards from last time.
Wait, do I really?
No.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be so funny.
Look, they didn't help us. It's funny because they did help us solve the case, but you don't use them when presenting anything. It's just to remind you that the glass is important.
Right.
Like, it's kind of funny. Like, that's the real secret of it.
What if the glass was just there for like the whole game? Just taking up an inventory slot for no reason.
I mean, if this was like a Toby Fox game, it would definitely be like you'd run into someone and they'd be like, hey, I'll let you pass this bridge if you have some glass shards, and you show it to them and they're like, those are pretty good.
Yeah, they like eat them.
Yeah, exactly. Where they're like, yeah, those are pretty good, but you can keep them, and then they just stay in your inventory the rest of the game.
It is 9:30.
I keep forgetting what it was called, like Moon something, but it's wild that like as much as credit as I give, I'm realizing that like you never get mad at something because someone knows something from the secondary source instead of the primary one. Like someone's like, "Oh, I love this song from Rock Band or this song from Guitar Hero," and you're like, "It's not from Guitar Hero," or I love this dance from
like the Fortnite dances.
Yeah. Well, I'm realizing that like I gave way too much credit to Toby Fox. Like I gave a lot. Like he still deserves a lot of credit, but the very like the concept of the sort of anti-RPG, the stuff that like there was a game called like Moon something that was in Japan that was likely like I don't know if it was rumored to be or was like confirmed to be the like inspiration for like Undertale. And the thing I find fascinating about that is that I'm like, well, I guess it makes sense that that's inspiration, but the real question is just like the whole Lapis Lazuli looking like a rare ported anime character, the thought is, how did Toby Fox get his hands on this Moon whatever game? Because it wasn't translated or ported, so he would have had to like get like a fan translated version on like an emulator or something in order for him to play this, or he would have had to know Japanese or something.
That is
for that to actually work.
Man, that's
it's the same thing with the Lapis Lazuli thing, where it's like, oh yeah, you can tell that like she's probably based on this character from this anime. What's the anime? Oh, it's Golden Bat. It wasn't ported to the United States or translated or whatever.
Oh yeah, it existed
so
as
you
like
to have a copy of it.
Thing.
Yeah, for it to be but for someone to be inspired by Golden Bat, especially for them to be inspired like I don't know before Steven Universe came out, they would have watched it like shortly after it came out, like I don't know, on VHS or whatever back in like the 90s, but like would have had to have like a friend like bring it from Japan. Like it's just like it's such a deep layer, it's like if someone's it's kind of like if our version of that would be if we had like a character in our video game but it was based on like a lesser known like Arizona tourist trap or something, and everyone's like, oh, for you. Actually no, it'd be like that, but it's like, oh yeah, we got this inspired by this one tourist trap in like Michigan. It's like, you don't even live anywhere near Michigan. It's like, yeah, we just happened to go all the way there and then we remembered that and wrote it all down and brought it back with us.
Right.
We just happened to go all the way to like Germany, and we based the cover art on this one product that's only available in like one province there, and that's why it's got this cool design. And everyone thinks that we copied it and we're inspired by it. I don't know.
Right.
I do hope to see more anti-RPGs in the future, where it's like, this is an RPG. Just kidding. It's like a bullet hell mixed with dating sim.
Right. October 16th, Detention Center Visitors Room. There he is, the man. What's wrong, Maya? It's him, in the flesh.
Oh, is that guy really him?
What do you mean, that guy? Of course it's him.
I'm that guy.
I'm the older guy. Well, Powers, our client, that's him.
Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. He definitely did it. Murder, at least once, maybe twice.
What? No, Maya, you can't just, first of
He
all...
looks like a lion. They're natural carnivores.
First of all, he looks like a teddy bear. Second of all, that's super judgmental.
He looks like a lion. He looks like I
mean, he does actually kind of look like a lion.
He looks like Kyone's human Sona.
Looks like who?
Cone? The lion.
Cone, yes,
machine.
Cone from... Oh,
Cone
yeah,
from
dude, do animals have human sonas?
I mean, they do if they're from the Spirit Society. The Soul Society?
Soul Society?
It's from the Lamp Society. He's a genie.
Right. Okay. What? Hold up. Okay. Alright, then we're back. But, yeah, oh, no, you did that. Whoa, what are you saying?
You should voice this guy.
Oh, yeah, I should. I haven't really been voicing any characters besides Phoenix. Alright, what voice do I give this guy?
You sound like a lion.
Yeah.
Yes? This is Dr. James. Yes, Dr. James?
Dr. James, what's going on, Dr. James?
We added our mandatory World Doctors reference in there.
James! We gotta go watch a bunch of feel-good movies at James's house.
Gotta watch a bunch of feel-good movies at Mr. Wright's house.
Mr. Wright's house. At Mr. Powers' house. Something wrong? No. This is getting off to a great start. I know. You're disappointed, aren't you?
Disappointed? No.
No, it's okay. This is the real me. When I got the part of the Steel Samurai with that mask, I decided I would never show my face in public until the job was over. It's the kids, you know?
Like a masked wrestler.
Yeah, like a masked wrestler. It's the kids, you know? I didn't want to wreck their dreams.
Oh.
I guess it didn't matter. So much for dreams. I wonder what they think of the Steel Samurai now.
Nick! Press
What?
X to console this man.
What?
He's a good guy. I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Looks at him. He's evil. Hears him. He's good. He didn't do it. Yeah, he does. Jenny says, "Well, looks like a Street Fighter." Yeah, really. Like all the characters are like very colorful, but he's also just like big.
He's just huge.
Like, he looks like he spends his extra time.
He's got like a
learning some kind of. He looks like he spends his extra time learning some kind of like lion-themed martial arts.
Yeah, right. He's got like this patch of fur sticking out of his shirt.
Yeah, look at that. He's got the freaking Zangief body hair.
Ah, there was a cat yelling at the door. I think they're at the door. Are you actually gonna come inside? There you are. Freaking cats being weird. What time is it? How long have we been going for? It is 9:37 and I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. Also, I just noticed that his like polo thingy has like a little like pipe on it.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's the brand,
I think.
whatever the local polo brand is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Willpowers. I like willpowers because one, I love the trope of like the gentle giant. You know, the guy who's just like scary and menacing looking, but like, well, I don't know if he's a giant or if it's just his face. I think he just has a weird face, but
No, I will also.
Well,
I think
I mean,
all the sprites are very like carefully like designed.
that's
So
true.
the fact that his hair is cutting out of the frame tells you that he is pretty tall.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, he's like a gentle giant dude, and that's like one of my favorite tropes. Is just like the evil-looking giant dude who's like, "Oh man, I just want to entertain kids." Like,
Well, like that was my thing with the like Nendo, where it's like everyone thinks he's like 17 and already in the Yakuza, but actually it's just that he's got a scar and like just has a cool hairstyle.
yeah, he just looks like
And
a
when people-
protagonist. That's his problem.
Well, it's because when you injure your eye, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough, and when they think you're tough, they want to know how tough.
And when they want to know how tough, you end up in a military. And when you end up in a military, you go into secret covert ops. And when you go into secret covert ops, you get kidnapped by a guy who can who can ricochet bullets off of metallic surface, off of weird surfaces or whatever. And when you come across a dude, and when you get tied up by a guy who can like make bullets bounce off weird surfaces or whatever, then he's going to juggle his guns around because he's a douchebag who likes to show off. And if he does that, you're gonna get agitated. And you're gonna get agitated. You're gonna knock him with your shoulder, and then he's gonna shoot you in the eye, and then you're gonna lose an eye. Don't lose an eye. Don't
But you
get
already
don't get
lost an
shot.
eye in this story.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna go with like a Yakuza series reference, but like you went in the Solid Snake reference.
Well,
that
no,
was
see, he got a scar over the one eye, but then the other eye just got straight up shut out, so he had to get an eye patch over that.
Man. Okay. Wasn't there? I swear there was a Naruto character that like was blind in one eye, but the scar was in the other. And I guess that's my explanation now. It's like, oh, he got scratched, but he recovered, and then he got shot by like a bow in the other one. What's Naruto? Nobody uses bows, so I guess got hit by a kunai. Like, oh, it's like, why shouldn't the scar be on the other one? It's like, well, no, one was like went sideways and one went directly towards me. So
Yeah.
I always think like it's cool character design when the eye that's blind is the one with the scar, because then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I see how they got injured.
Right.
Anywho, thank you for joining us this evening. I've been Taylor.
I've been Lou Jack.
We've been made an extra long episode for everyone wanting to watch this on Halloween or any other spooky night of the year.
Yeah, happy Halloween. Sorry we didn't have like a Halloween themed one shot for you. If we hadn't already done Twilight Chronicles, we would have gotten Emily in on that.
You know, the Batman Spider-Man outfits would like cover like our whole body, so if we did like a webcam like episode, we should just have our bodies completely covered and we're just Batman and Spider-Man.
They'll never know who we are.
I'll tag I'll tag the small Bateras on Twitter and be like, hey, I hear Batman and Spider-Man are doing a stream, and they're like, what?
What if we did?
And they just see the thumbnail and they're like, what the hell?
What if we did whole streams? Okay, what if we had like a series, like a separate series, where we were also gaming, but it was like I don't know, multiplayer games like Multiverses or Overwatch or whatever, where we're like playing as the Batman and Spider-Man characters, and our whole thing is just playing those games as those characters.
I come over to support.
I'm the support. I'm the tank
I lost y'all and
guy.
I'm coming over to the point.
I heal the tank guy. We're best friends. Alright.
After the stream, I'll make all the cakes. Okay. And I'm reminding you to take care.
Stay awesome.
Tag Small Batera on Twitter and tell them that Batman Spider-Man is great, and there you have good stuff.
And don't shoot your eyes out or get your shot eyes out by gun juggling, bullet ricocheting ocelot fuckers. with their dumb blonde
Yeah.
flat tops or whatever. He was a silver fox. His longer hair is way cooler than his shorter hair when he was young.
You
Anyway,
can't.
yeah.
Look,
Bye.
this is a sacred
Bye.
space in the outro. Bye.
Bye.